Hello, I'm Maker410 and welcome to my channel where I focus on 3-inch revolvers and firearms chambered in the 410 bore shot shell. Let's check out today's video.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. So normally we're testing ammunition either out of 3-inch barreled revolvers only, or we're checking out ammunition in for the 410 gauge out of a variety of 410 gauge bore platforms. But today we're going to be checking out 32 Smith & Wesson Long, 3 different ammo types out of multiple platforms. And the reason we're doing this is because this guy in the middle here, this Fiocchi Heritage in Full Metal Jacket, says that it's going at 949 feet per second, 100 grain, or 97 grain, I believe. Yeah, 97 grain bullet. And that's no slouch, if that's accurate. I'm much more used to the concept of 32 Smith & Wesson Long doing like 750 or 800 feet per second. So we're going to check to see if that's accurate. And then, in addition to that, we are going to check 2 other readily available 32 Smith & Wesson Long ammos that are not, that don't have a velocity listed, that don't have a speed listed. The PPU 98 grain lead round nose and the Magtech lead wadcutter 100 grain. So these 3 ammunitions are all easily gotten. They're relatively cheap for ammo that's not 380 ACP or 9mm. And they're all considered to be subpar for self-defense in this day and age. But this one, this Heritage, if it's accurate, that's this Fiocchi Heritage, if this is accurate, that puts it hotter than some 380 ACP, right in the hotter 380 ACP and average 32 H&R Magnum velocities. So that's very fascinating. Anyway, so we're going to be testing it out of all 3 of these out of a variety of ammo, or a variety of handguns, and 1 long arm. I got my hands on a Henry in 327, and we're only going to shoot 1 of each out of each firearm because I only have 7 of these, and I want to use it up nicely because I have 7 of these Full Metal Jacket Fiocchi Heritages, and I have 7 different firearms for us to trial. So that'll be interesting. So I've already said that we've got the 16-inch barrel lever action Henry in 327, which will cycle the longer lead round nose and Full Metal Jacket 32 Smith & Wesson Long, but it won't cycle the Wadcutter ammo. And because it won't cycle the Wadcutters, we are just going to individually feed them all in one at a time, like thus. Okay? Then, for our handguns, we have the new Smith & Wesson 432, I believe, Ultimate Carry in 32 H&R Magnum, 2-inch barrel, approximately 2-inch barrel. In Arminius West German 32 Smith & Wesson Long revolver with approximately a 4-inch barrel. So this one I'm thinking we'll probably get the best velocity out of because it is the one actually chambered in 32 Smith & Wesson Long. All the rest are not. They're either 32 H&R Magnum or they are 327 Federal Magnum. So I think if anybody is going to really shine, it'll be this guy. Our Ruger GP101, or Ruger GP100 in 327. I believe this is a 5-inch barrel. Our Charter Arms Professional with a 3-inch barrel and 32 H&R Magnum. Our Taurus 327, also in 327 Federal Magnum. with approximately a 2-inch barrel. Put that guy there. And then our Ruger SP101 in 327 with a 3-inch barrel. All right. If you guys will give me a moment, I'm going to change the position on my chair, and I'm going to get my eyes and ears on, and I'm going to get the bag set up, and you will see me kind of writing this stuff down on a note card as I go along, just to help me kind of keep straight our results that we get on our chronograph. That guy fell out. Okay, everybody. So we're going to be starting with the Magtech Wadcutter. This guy is pretty famous for being a target round. So we're just going to go down the line, nothing super fancy, and just see what we get. .5 out of the Smith & Wesson. Like I said, I'm used to much slower velocities than what that Heritage has listed. And I gotta admit, I don't know if I believe it. And so I'm really curious to find out, you know? And we'll find out all sorts of stuff while we're at it. We'll find out if there are any of these that Smith & Wesson 32 Long actually excels in, and if maybe it should just be target ammo or blanking ammo out of all of them because there's subpar performance due to 32 Smith & Wesson Long being 1 or 2 calibers below what the revolvers are actually chambered in. Okay, so our next shot is out of the Taurus 327. .67.2. Now, obviously, none of these are going to really be super accurate because we're only shooting 1 out of each. But I feel like, well, that's just where we are because of the limitations and how much ammo I have left. If I'd had a full box, you know, we could do that. And maybe I will. If the results are really fascinating, maybe I'll snag an extra box and we'll do 5 out of each to see what we get. .5 out of the Charter Arms Professional. So, I mean, that's not too terribly bad. It's more than out of the other ones, but not a huge amount more. I feel like if there's going to be any drop, it's going to be in the Rugers. I'm not entirely certain why I feel that way. I just feel that way. So yeah, let's see. .684.0. Okay, so that's almost dead on with the Professional. So that's good to know. So far, the 2-inch barrel revolvers and the 3-inch barrel revolvers are doing pretty well, hanging out in the same basic area together. Here's the Arminius. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with this one. This was like I said, an old West German brand. It's a fantastic little revolver. I love it. They're not terribly expensive to find used, and they carry 7 rounds, and they're very comfortable. Oh, 761.3. All right, so that's an extra inch of barrel over the 3-inch and almost another 80 feet per second out of that Wadcutter. All right. Shot number 6, the GP100. I gotta admit, guys, this is really just sort of my favorite revolver to shoot 327 out of. I don't know if I would consider it a favorite out of for 32 Smith & Wesson Long, but it's quite gentle. 661.5. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. 5-inch barrel and significantly lower in velocity. And I wonder if that's because it's not chambered for 32 Smith & Wesson Long. I wonder if there's a big enough difference in the size between 32 Smith & Wesson Long and 327 Federal Magnum, a difference in length, that that gap before the bullet hits the forcing cone and gets into the barrel and engages with the rifling. I'm wondering if that gap is preventing the 32 Smith & Wesson Long from having quite the same velocity that we got out of the Arminius. All right, now let's check the Henry. This will be interesting. There we go. $792.7. All right, so I think the Henry kind of shows that. Maybe not. I don't know. The Henry doesn't have the cylinder gap, and it has 16 inches of barrel. So it'll be very interesting to see as we go along how much velocity we pick up in the Henry. And the Henry is a real sweet carbine. I have found it to be soft shooting, and 32 Smith & Wesson Long, it's barely more than a 22 LR. 32 H&R Magnum and 327 Federal Magnum all shoot so beautifully out of this guy. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. All right, so our average velocity with the Wadcutter was 697, and the two outstanding were the Arminius and 32 Smith & Wesson Long, and the Henry both got above 700 feet per second. But again, nowhere near what that Fiocchi Heritage was saying. Let's continue. Now, we're back to the ultimate carries again. I really enjoy the ultimate carry so far. I find its sights to be quite nice. The grips to be good. 614.4. Holy moly. That is even lower than I thought it would be. And that's a little stinky. You can really smell it on that one. I have a feeling that these lead round noses are going to be a little bit dirty in comparison to the Wadcutters and the full metal jackets. Now we're on to the Taurus. Practically the same revolver specs as the ultimate carry. A little bit heavier, a little lower quality. Let's see. $501. That's crazy low. Crazy low. Holy moly. Now, that difference might be because 501.5. Holy moly. That might be because the Taurus is chambered in 327 and the Smith & Wesson is chambered in 32 H&R Magnum. So the differences there compared to the 32 Smith & Wesson Long might be enough because the 32 H&R is only one caliber longer and the 327 is 2 calibers longer. So that might be where that difference is coming in. But the actual bullets might just be loaded really gentle. if they're just meant for target shooting. Let's see what we get out of the professional. .3.1. That's really interesting. So far the professional has been getting some of the higher numbers, and they've been very consistent. That's only 4 feet per second less. All right. Let's see if this SP101 does well. .532.8. Whew. Okay, so, man, that's really different. I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay. The Arminius should let us know if it's the ammo or if it's the chambering, as the Arminius is actually chambered in 32 Smith & Wesson Long. .566.5. Whew. My guess then is that this PPU lead round nose is just really lightly loaded. You know, and so these numbers, I don't know how much I could recommend them for anything but target shooting and maybe very small game hunting. All right, let's see what we get out of the GP100. .549.8. Whew. Yeah, my guess then is that that this PPU is loaded very lightly and probably very inconsistently. And we'll shoot the last one out of the Henry, and we'll see what we get out of this guy. Okay. Back up a little bit. 629.3. Yeah, my guess is that this stuff is just for fun and that this is not meant to be a serious loading. All right, so 629. That's 170 less than the Magtech Wadcutter. Yeah, I mean, PPU is consistently the cheapest 32 Smith & Wesson Long I can find, and that may be why. All right, starting with the Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry. Time to find out if this is a really nice low recoil alternative carry caliber out of this revolver. Wow, 796. That was fantastic. 796.1. I gotta tell you, if I was looking for a bare minimum carry recoil caliber for this revolver, that may have just been it. I'll have to do the numbers on that. We'll probably have to do a penetration expansion clay plastilina shot to see later on, but that was really nice. I liked that. That felt very different than the other two calibers or the other two loadings that we have fired so far. All right, let's see it out of the 327, the Taurus 327. 825.7. Holy moly. It's not 945, 949, sorry, that the box is advertising, but it's closer. These actually feel like you're shooting something that's not just a 22 long. Let's see what we get out of the Professional with its 3-inch barrel. $933.3. Whew. Oh, that is surprising. Yeah. All right, let's see what we get out of the Ruger SP101. So far, it's been inconsistent compared to the Charter Arms Professional, even though they both have the same length barrel. 809. Wow. That's like 120 feet per second difference. Yeah, so far, yeah, this Ruger SP101, it's going to be one to keep an eye on numbers-wise so far. I am little bits here and there haven't really impressed me yet. All right, Arminius, what do you got for us? You gonna take this higher than what we've been seeing for the other ones? You do have the 4-inch barrel, and you are actually chambered for it. 828. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see. 828.7. Man. This is really just making me more and more curious. I may have to revisit this with full boxes of ammo for each of these so that we can get some more data points. I wasn't expecting it to be this variable. All right, let's see what we get out of the GP100. $829.8. Yeah, and so here's the thing. I would have thought that out of the 4-inch barrel, chambered in 32 H&R long proper, that we would have actually gotten the 949-ish feet per second. And I would have thought that out of the 5-inch barrel, we might have got a little bit more. But so far, that has not been the case. And now we will try the Henry. $903. All right, so the biggest difference out of all of this, and the closest of any of them, has been the Charter Arms Professional.